So if you go to a Twitter conference or a social media conference anywhere in Southern California, you're going to run across a character by the name of Chamillionaire. Now, Chamillionaire has built a strong following on social media. And he's crossed that line from an artist who is every once in a while putting his little toe in there and seeing what it's all about to he's fully immersed in the social media world. And he's building an empire. Chamillionaire, welcome to Building 43.
Man, glad to be here. That's what it's all about, you know, being active, being engaging with the fans and the people that want to, you know, communicate with you. And I love it, you know.
I like the fact that you're not bashful about the business side of this, right? And you're actually quite open about saying, you know what, I need to stay alive. I am building an empire here. This is about economics, and I am leveraging these tools that weren't available to me 5 years ago because now this is an even playing field. But it takes a lot of intuition to get to that place. When did the light bulb go off for you as a businessman?
I mean, for me, the main thing that kind of started leveraging this kind of behavior was just looking at the downward turn of record sales. You know what I mean? Like, you know, so many people were signed to a major label thinking that, oh, I'm safe now. And now you're seeing a lot of them, they're kind of, you know, getting rid of people, record stores are disappearing and all this stuff's happening. So in my line of business, it's like, wait a second. If all these companies are crashing and the economy is not good, then I got to find a way to stay in touch with all these people. I worked for years to actually go around the world. I went to India. I wish I had like a Twitter at that time, you know. I wish I had a way to keep all those people. When I went on my first promo run and I went to, you know, Norway or Finland, I wasn't as engaging as I am now. I wish I would have been able to keep in touch with every single one of those people. My first album sold 1.5 million records. My second album didn't do as good. But I wish I would have been able to contact every single one of those 1.5 million people that bought my album. So now I understand the importance of, you know, cultivating a fan base and actually watching them grow and keep staying in contact with them. You don't want them to disappear. You want them to be in touch with you and know everything that's going on with you. And that's what I take it really seriously. It's kind of like an art that you kind of got to, you know, find a way to stay with it, you know.
And now we know that music becomes valuable when we get to know the creator of that content, right? Yeah. So music, is it shifting over to becoming a social object? Meaning this is interactable. Now I know the person behind this and I care enough to get involved because if he doesn't get paid, he doesn't make any more music.
Yeah, it's definitely, you have to build some kind of connection with your audience, you know what I mean? You have a lot of people that kind of, you know, they have big records, and for some reason people don't buy their albums, and you'll wonder why this dude has the biggest record in the world and nobody's buying his albums, because some of those people, you can't tell you much about them. Like, you don't know their name, you don't know what they like. And I think, you know, with an audience, you kind of got to, you know, kind of engage with them in a way to where it kind of makes them feel like they know you. Like, you have some people like who'll hit you on Twitter and they'll talk trash and they'll be like, you know, but it's because they feel so comfortable feeling like they almost feel like they're saying it to your face. You know what I mean? And you can use that to your benefit, and you can, you know, tell them the information that you want to tell them, and then also, you know, hide some things. You know what I mean? You can, you know, I tend to try not to overly advertise with them. I try to make them feel like they know me. You know, like I can ask a question right now on Twitter: who's Chamillionaire's favorite basketball team? And everybody's gonna be like Kobe, because you talk about Kobe all day. You know what I mean? That's the kind of stuff you want them to know, and to get to feel like they know you and they have that connection. You know.
So, I mean, there's that famous statement that a brand isn't a logo, it isn't a slogan, it's the way somebody feels about that, right? Definitely. We feel something about Apple, or we feel something about this product over here. So really it is important how they feel about Chamillionaire. And the only way they do that is through connection.
Yeah, definitely. And then it deals with the experience a lot of times too. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, you know, you got to be more of a movement. You know what I mean? I have this quote that is like, a moment will pass, but a movement will last. You know what I mean? And that quote came from, you know, these fans, this legion of fans started becoming like, you know, almost feeling like a part of the process, where I put out a project, like, perfect example right now, my third album, I didn't even name my third album. I put it out there like, I don't know what the name is going to be. You know, I want these fans, all my fans, to help me name it. And then they all started throwing titles at it. And even though, you know, this one person in Denver, I might not pick their title, they might feel like they were a part because they were helping me, actually throwing ideas at me. And I think this is a beautiful, you know, connection that you can have with fans, even a 15-year-old fan to a 40-year-old fan. Anybody, you can learn so much from them. And I like to use Twitter and all these social media networks to kind of, you know, just understand how they think, what they like, what they don't like. And I think they can see that I really care. So they're like, oh, I kind of like this guy, because, you know, they'll be like, well, you know, Chamillionaire, you never respond to my tweets. And I'll be like, you know what, man, I will respond to your tweets if you kind of like started getting in the conversation. And they'll be like, whoa, he really cares, because anybody else wouldn't even answer that. So I think they'll start becoming fans like that.
So for businesses, you can't just put up a website now and just say, okay, it's over.
Yeah.
It is truly about the conversation. And so as a business guy, let's talk a little bit about the value of conversation and the return on investment, right? Because your time is your money. But you've seen something here that says, hey, it's worth it. This is paying off.
Yeah, definitely. And from a business standpoint, like, I think, you know, I see so many, you know, businesses and companies that are still using the old formula. You know what I mean? They have like a basic website page, and it'll be like a little bit of information. It's something that you look at one time and you never go back to. I think nowadays it's not necessarily about you anymore. I don't care who you are, Walgreens, whatever company you are. It's about the customer. They will call you and complain when they don't like something, and you kind of got to get them engaged, you know what I mean? So if you can actually turn any normal page into a social page where people can actually interact with other people and tell you about their complaints, they feel more important. They feel like, okay, I'm going to support what it is that you're doing. And that's what I try to do. And it's not just for a rapper or entertainer, it's for anybody. You know, anybody that has a business, if you understand that the consumers is what makes this whole thing go around. Like, you're nobody without your followers, you know what I mean? You could do one thing today and everybody tomorrow decide that they're not going to follow you no more. Then what? You know, you start all over and do it again. But I think you need to understand what they like, what they don't like. If you're spamming a whole bunch of people on Twitter with vulgar stuff and just all your followers hate it, then you kind of need to change your way of thinking. And companies can learn like that too. There might be things that they're doing that their consumers might not like. And then they can kind of test it out, and they'll be like, no, we don't like that. And you can see a majority of them, because these are real people. You know, some people look at the internet and they see these people, and it doesn't seem like a real person. It's, you know, you see sometimes they don't have a real, you know, profile pic or whatever. It's still a real person that's typing, and you kind of got to understand and use that information to your benefit, you know.
And that kind of led you to, I mean, I don't know how many CDs have actually been auctioned off for $8,000.
Yeah, I actually just did I guess it was something I was trying to do to be creative, outside the box, you know. You know, people are so just desensitized by the same thing over and over. And I was like, you know, you go with these major labels, they have this book of a promotional book of, they just use the same formula for everybody. And I was like, let's think of something different. You know what I mean? Like, there's this golden ticket thing that major labels do all the time, where if you win this Willy Wonka ticket, then you'll get a free trip to Hawaii. Nobody believes that because they never see the winner. You know what I mean? Like, I like to do a contest where you really see the winner. If you win something from me, I want to send it to you. I want you to send me a picture. I want you to send me a video so I can post it up and everybody can see it's real. You know what I mean? I believe in the authenticity of things instead of just doing it just to do it. You know what I mean? So when I did this CD giveaway on the online, I just put it up and I was like, let's see, you know, how far this goes. And all these fans just started bidding for it just because it was the last one. You know, and it made it such a demand, because I even went as far to say, you know what, I normally sign my signature as Chamillionaire and then I draw a lizard. I said, after these 100 CDs that I'm dropping, I will never sign a lizard again. These are the last lizards that will be in existence. And the reason why is because you always ask people for autographs all the time. And you don't even know what the value of an autograph is. You probably got somebody's autograph. It's balled up in your room somewhere. But, you know, I wanted to make the autograph mean something, where 4 years, 5 years from now, somebody has that autograph and they're like, whoa, you're one of the last people with the Chamillionaire lizard. So the autograph actually means something. And everybody started bidding for it, like, oh, I want one of those last ones. Now it made the autograph actually worth something when nobody really knows what one's worth. You know?
You got to create markets.
You got to.
Chamillionaire on Building 43.